Hello, I'm Drew, I'm that frog guy, and today we're taking a look at my mom's saltwater tank. So let's take a look. Okay guys, we're taking a look at my mom's 40 or 39 gallon saltwater aquarium. Let's take a look. It is about a year old at this point, and she has a skimmer. She does not have a sump. But I'll just kind of go over the livestock choices and kind of how this tank is done since we started it a whole year ago. So we have a 6-lined wrasse there that we ended up putting in here to help deal with some nudibranchs that sprung up after we got some coral, after she got some coral from Live Aquaria. When I hear a lot of times it's not something you really want to do is get coral from them, maybe from Diver's Den, but we'll go over the livestock choices. So right here we have, I believe, a Blastomusa. It's doing alright. We have an Acan that's finally coming back. It was a little low. Down there's a Lawnmower Blenny to deal with some of her algae issues. We have a nice flat cabbage leather coral that's doing really well. And then we have this long polyp, I believe, toadstool leather that is doing great. It's like quadruple in size since we got in here. We have this Duncan. There's also that one there, and this one are both from Petco. That one's doing great. This one, it's had its issues. You can see its tentacles are bumped up, but we had it over by the clowns in their little PVC pipe there, and I think they were nipping at it, and we finally moved it away. We also have this Galaxia coral, and we just moved it like yesterday, so it's already doing better. We have a Galaxia here, who is always an angry, evil coral. We have like a little feather duster worm colony there. We have a pipe organ coral there. We have a branching leather coral there. There's a chromis and a couple pajama cardinals. There's Dottie. We call her Dottie. She is a Dottie back, or I think it's orchid. Maybe it's just a purple Dottie back. I don't know enough about her general species, but we call it her because she's pink. It was probably a boy or something, but she has an interesting story where my mother had ordered a bunch of fish from Live Aquaria during their holiday sale, and everything came here dead except for that fish, and it was barely moving, and it's one of the first inhabitants that are left from the original tank. The only other original inhabitant is that clown there, was one of the first two, but he was a he at the time, and the female ended up passing away along with a couple other fish when her pumps went out and the oxygen levels decreased. So this tank has been through a lot of stuff. So we ended up getting another clown, a little black one there. I don't know enough about clown species either. I don't research them enough. We also have our cleaner shrimp back there with long antennas. He's crazy. And there's an emerald crab from my tank in here, and another what do they call it? Shrimp back there. The peppermint shrimp from my tank. She was having trouble with apatasia. She also has a little starfish there, a pest one, but it seems to leave most stuff alone. Also, she has some of these other kind of hydroid, or what are they called, feather dusters, which are really cool looking. But in this blue sponge, along with some other red sponge hiding underneath a couple places. But she's had the gambit in this tank, and I'm glad this tank is finally working out. It's been a lot of work. Even some of the rock choices, we didn't actually get correct rock at first, so we only have one chunk of live rock, which had a gorilla crab in it, and we've just had plenty of bad luck. But she's getting a lot of coralline algae growth in the back, and she does a lot of water changes. She's very adamant on this tank, and she's the reason I got into saltwater. Pretty much. I've always wanted to, but she's always wanted a saltwater tank for her entire life, and I'm like, let's just get you one. When she retired, we ended up making this tank, and on a budget. I'm not sure it was a good idea, but we learned a lot, and as you can see, the cheap pumps break, some of the better pumps work, and this really cheap skimmer just really helped this tank out in the long run. She does have algae issues here, mostly because you can't scrape. The rock is far too close, which is a error in planning that we didn't foresee. If we did it differently, we'd probably push that rock towards the back and we wouldn't care as much. But yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. Her first coral in her tank was that frog spawn there, which has been doing horrible for the last couple months, but finally is coming back out in that location with very, very little flow. Very, very, very low flow in that area. But this is my mom's tank, so thank you guys for watching. And for those who've ever had a reef tank, it's amazing. It's cheap and expensive all at the same time. So yeah, if you ever want to start a tank, just do it. Just start it. This is a good size to start with. This is probably the smallest you probably want to do for the first timer. I decided I want to do 10-gallon tanks, and I just do not like that decision now after seeing how more stable this tank is. And with just a hang-on back filter, a very simple, a light, and even just a skimmer on the inside, and even you probably wouldn't really need the skimmer in this tank now that it's good and going, but like in the beginning, these tanks are always trouble, so don't give up. Perseverance. This is a year-old tank, and it's looking great compared to what it looked like covered in algae just a couple months ago. So like, subscribe, hit that notification if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys next time.